Hey, buddy, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor. Let's go ahead and get back in here. Yeah, I mean, guys, just think about it. Well, hold on. I am streaming this. First of all, I'm like mid-conversation with people as I start this. But I'll get back to that in a second. But special thanks to Leona, Master Verdenis for the generous donation. Anyone else out there that like a coaching session, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind. And we can set that up. It's just $25 if you're not a channel member. If you are a channel member, then it's just $20. If you want to watch more coaching sessions, I'll have the link in the description for this. We've got over 200 coaching sessions on the channel, so you can just kind of flip through. All of those are free. The previous coaching sessions, so you can still check those out and learn some stuff if you like. And come by and check out the stream. Starts around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Goes till about 2 or 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time most nights. A very chill community, very fun. I try to be as interactive with the chat as I possibly can. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get in here. So we're picking Leona. So people are asking me on the channel if, you know, I ever play, like, games off-stream with viewers, or if I ever do, like, strategy games and stuff like that. And I can't do that, because there's just not enough time. I mean, there's, like, hundreds and thousands of people that watch the channel, so I wouldn't be able to offer that to everybody. And I just can't take that kind of time for free to hang out. You know, it's like, because this is like my job, but I have other jobs too, and I have a family, you know? And so it's to an extent, I mean, I know for a lot of people it's just like a game, and it would be really cool to hang out and chill with somebody, but that would be like almost the equivalent of like, you know, asking a manager at a restaurant or something if they just want to like you're their customer or whatever, and if they just want to like stay and hang out with you, you know, and just chat with you for a few hours about some food that they're cooking or something after the restaurant closes, you know, or like come in a few hours early and just hang out and chat with them, you know, about the restaurant. And you know, some people might do that every now and then if it's like a really big customer, but it's just, you just can't do that, or just like any other type of job, right? Like, a lot of times, especially if you're dealing with hundreds or thousands of people, and you're working other jobs on top of that, it's just not something that's really feasible. I know I try to make it feel as personal as I can, and like try to answer all of the questions that I can in the chat, but you know, I can really only do that during live stream. How many kids do I have? One kid. Okay. So good lane pressure overall. I'm not sure what rank this is. He didn't tell me. I don't think. I may have forgotten. Hey, thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good lunch. Okay, so Zen got a kill. He's probably on the bot side now. So you gotta be careful pushing up. Do you have a ward? I think you do. But like Zen could come rolling through this bush. I mean, the bot lane is Diana, like, support, I think, and Vel'Koz ADC, so I assume this is probably not... the elo is probably not that high, but maybe it is. Maybe it's just people goof around. Hey, Zaniel. Yeah, it's a donation. This is a coaching session. Yeah, it's, if you want to, sure, I will. It's $25. Or $20 if you're a channel member. Okay, so you're pretty far ahead. Okay, it's actually a Diana AD carry, AP carry, or whatever. Yeah, man, once again, it comes down to, like, I can't do the personalized experience stuff for free. Like I was just explaining. Oh, it's a gold 3 game. Okay. No, dude, I can't, man. offer op.gg where if you just want me to look at your like runes and items and stuff where it's really fast, you know, that's like $5, so that's pretty cheap. And that's like that's as cheap as I can go for you know, a few minutes there. If you want me to just look at your runes or items or the champs you're playing, things like that, and give you just a couple of quick tips. Okay. What are you getting here? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Probably getting mercs. Early mercs. Okay, thanks, Anya. You gotta try to get some wards on Dragon if you can. Like, wherever is your next ward up yet? No. So when your next ward is up, you need to put it on Dragon. Try to go position for this scuttle. Like, you're not gonna be able to dive him under tower. Like, push this wave up and then try to see if you can help Kindred get that mark. Or, like, pressure Dragon. Like, go use your charges here. Yeah, use your charges to push, and then see if you can go make a play on Dragon. You gotta push first, though. And you're not pushing fast enough. See, if you were here to help right now with this, they'd probably be able to get this, like, clean. And once that fight starts, you definitely need to leave and show up. You're not, like, you're just... Okay, so... The thing is, like, all you're doing is, like, pretty much sitting here just watching the Draven. And to be fair, there's not a lot you can do because you can't dive them this close to tower. Right? So what you want to be doing then is, you know, on the previous wave, you push up, push them all the way into the tower, and then you rotate, like right here. Just get up, use your charges on the tower. Instead of playing this far back, play really far forward. They'll back up off the wave because they'll be scared like that. And then you just push up, push right here. It's like auto attack, use your charges. And then this would have been the moment where you push up and then you rotate up here to help her go for this mark. Now she's fighting, and then just imagine you like jump over this wall, CC him, and it'd just be a much cleaner fight. Now they win the fight anyways because Lissandra shows up, but it would have been much cleaner, much faster, and you could have rotated to get Dragon. You guys should still get Dragon right now. It's a huge mistake not getting Dragon from your team off of that. So yeah, when you kill 2 people like that, and you've got somewhat priority bot lane, you guys definitely should have done the Dragon. Yeah, I talked about this in my most recent, like, best tips for 80 carries for the newest season, but it also applies to support, is, like, you don't just want to be sitting there, like, doing nothing, you know? If you're playing a champion that can't poke that well, you should try to roam. Now, that's a good, you know, it's a good double kill there. Just leave this here. Don't push, don't push, don't push. Just leave it. Just leave it. So what you're going to do now, because you're trying to push, you don't have any wave clear, really, so it's going to be very slow. So what's going to happen is when you back, they're probably going to get here when it's like right here. The wave's going to be right here, and they can freeze you out. Because you have a cannon slow pushing, so that's going to deny your 80 carry, like, probably two or 3 minion waves. Because watch, it's going to keep slow pushing. See how there are so many more minions here? It's going to push into them. And then they're going to show up, like, when it's right here, and it's not going to hit the tower. So if they're smart, and they may not be, but... Looks like they're not, but they could have frozen the Draven out so he couldn't get CS until you get back to lane, which is going to be another 30 or 45 seconds. So, fortunately, the Diana just mindlessly pushed it right back, and Draven's not going to miss that much. But it could have been really bad. So in general, whenever you're about to back, if you can't put it into the tower, just set it up to where the minions are about even, so that it freezes in that spot when you back. Because, like, if she would have let that crash to right here and frozen it, then the Draven probably would have tried to go up for the CS anyways. And if the support was there, Vel'Koz might be AFK or something, but they could have potentially engaged on your support while you're not there. And that would have been bad. Okay, so you need to get some more wards down. I would not have gotten refillable there. I would have gotten 2 control wards, because you need vision right now. You have no idea where Zen is. Like, Draven doesn't need you to be here watching him farm, you know what I mean? Okay, Vel'Koz went middle. Maybe Ryze is AFK. Okay, so y'all are getting the dragon now, but you could have had it like 3 minutes ago, so you could be halfway onto your next dragon. Vel'Koz is just like randomly roaming. Okay, so this is where you need to go in and ward. Ward his jungle up. Ooh. No, you got a sweeper. You don't want to get your sweeper until you complete your ward item, because wards are the most important thing. So yeah, I would just, I would push up here and then go, like, just see if you can do something with Kindred. Or you can roam middle. Because if you go back and watch, like, you're literally just standing around most of the time. Which I'm not saying that, like, you can't go in. Like, it's not your fault. You can't dive him under tower this early. I'm just saying that there's, like, a more productive thing you could be doing with your time, you know? Which is applying additional pressure through, like, deep wards in the enemy jungle, rotating to fights like that one around blue, or even rotating to middle to get a play on, like, the Ryze. You just want to be doing something. Even if you don't get the kill, like, it could still scare him. Like, maybe Ryze has to back off that wave or something and not get some CS or experience. Because you're threatening his lane. Just anything's better than just, like, sitting around not doing much, you know? And, like, yeah, they maybe could engage on your Draven. I don't know. I would not go in there, but, like, Kindred's too far, I think. I mean, maybe they... Okay, so they just, like, inted you under the tower. I think they were too far behind, though. People are asking, how do you become a channel member? There should be a join button next to the subscribe button on the channel that you can hit. Okay, so you're getting, okay, so you did get a control ward here. Ent does not mean intelligence. True.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's a bit far for a roam.
Turret plating.
Yeah, so Draven's kind of... Like, I think you should roam on the Ryze. Ryze doesn't have his flash. I don't know if you're tracking the cooldowns or not, but Ryze doesn't have his flash. Vayne has both summoners. Like... I mean, Lissandra can also just get on him anytime. I would have just run right up the middle here. Just tell Lissandra to go. She's got her ult. And then she just ults him. And then you ult him and he's dead. I don't know, like... I can't read the chat, so I don't know if Mordekaiser's just, like, screaming he's gonna go AFK or something if no one helps him. But he's also 0-3, so... and Moore's just really weird to gank for. Yeah, this is a big throw, I think. Like, Vayne's got both summoners. She's hard to lock down. If Mord ults her, then it's basically like you're not even there. Because he forces a one-on-one with his ult. So yeah, like, the only possible universe where that's a good idea is if the Mordekaiser is literally saying, I'm gonna go AFK if you don't show up, and you just feel like you have to do something. Even then, I would just tell the jungler to go up there, if that's the case. I mean, I never know if that stuff happens because I always just have the chat muted. But yeah, in general, unless it's, you know that, like, you're 100% going to lose the game if you don't go because he's going to AFK, then there's no reason to go up that far. Especially, like I said, when you have the Rise, has no sums, and a Lissandra, like, is your gank buddy. And Rise is 0-3. Like, Rise is pretty far behind. So I think you're right to try to roam somewhere, but that was an instance where you didn't have priority, you didn't have vision. You just kind of randomly went top. But if you got the priority, if you got the vision, then I would have liked to see you push up with the Draven and then go rotate on the Rise and get more vision in this river. I don't think I've seen, like, any wards yet so far this game, hardly. You got to get wards down. Alright, what do we got? Locket. Ooh, I do not like Locket. You want to be getting something with CDR on it so you can do more ults. Like, you should be, like, every time your ult's off cooldown, you need to be thinking, like, it's a race to see how fast you can kill somebody. Like, that's what you need to be thinking. Like, every time your ult's off cooldown, it needs to be a kill within, like, 15 seconds. Or at least you get a flash or something. Just, you need to be using that ult every time. Like, right here, just ult her. Just ult her. You have long range on it. Ult him. There you go. A little late on that, but it was the right decision. Yeah, I mean, I used to kind of do this too, where you want to get, like, the perfect combo, you know? You want to hit him with the E first and then ult. But really, a lot of times, you need to just ult first because it's just much longer range. Get the plant. Yeah, good job. Nice. Locket's pretty bad to rush. I mean, it does give you magic resist. It does help versus Vel'Koz and Diana, but it, like, the shield stacks with your bonus health. And you don't have any bonus health except for Targon's, which is, like, okay. But usually if you get Locket, it needs to be like a second or a third item. But I would get the Zeke's probably first. You have such a low cooldown ult, and it just gives so much extra utility. You can use it with the Draven, or you can even put it on Kindred, and she'll get a lot of value out of it. Okay, nice grab. Oh, she's gonna kill you, though. Well, maybe not. Okay. Let's go conquer. What is it, Sadie? What is this? Warden's mail? I don't like that. They don't have any crit on their team. If you're thinking Frozen Heart, they don't. I mean, hey, thanks, Daniel. I appreciate it. I mean, I guess Frozen Heart's like okay, but once again, it's like a, you know, it's really not an efficient item. You pay so much for mana off of that item, and you don't really need a lot of mana as Leona. I think that, like, Zeke's is just so much better than Frozen Heart. Yeah, and it's a nombo, like, it's a non-combo with Locket, because you want to get something that has, like, extra bonus health with Locket. Another option would be, like, maybe Righteous Glory, but I think with your Kindred and your Draven, like, pretty fed, just Zeke's for the extra on-hit damage would be your best bet, and it's just a lot cheaper also. Knight's Vow's okay, but I just think getting the extra damage with the Zeeks and the slow is really nice too. I mean, like Zeeks is just super strong. If you have a low cooldown like hard engage ult, you pretty much have to have Zeeks. It's just like really, really cost efficient. Shirelia's Leo. Nah, I think that's troll. Shouldn't have any healing and shielding. I mean, you do get a lot of value out of the movement speed, but you don't really need the regen. I think it's troll. If you want to do something like that, I go Righteous Glory. And I would probably only do Righteous Glory if you're not getting a lot of value out of Zeeks. So if you have like a mage bot lane, or you got like a bot lane Ezreal that's like 0-6 or something, maybe then you could do Righteous Glory. But you really only want one mana item. Like, you don't want to go double mana items. So you kind of have to choose. Do you do Righteous Glory or do you do Zeeks? Those are kind of your options. I wish they would streamline Frozen Heart and make it a cheap item, like an actual alternative to Zeeks. Make it like a 2,300 gold item and just remove a lot of mana off of it. Just take off like 200 mana or something. Because the effect is not really like that strong in 2020. It's okay, but like a 15% cripple, like that was very good back in the day when most AD carries were just straight up like auto attackers. And when it stacked with like a much more powerful Randuin's. But like so many people aren't getting Randuin's, and so many AD carries have other utility now other than just flat out right clicking. A lot of the more popular contemporary ones have a lot of like longer range abilities, and the range on it's so short too. It's like 500 range or something, 550. Anyways, nice. Okay, good. Yeah, peel. Get him. Okay, that's fine. Bane's gonna get a tower though. No, Frozen Heart's not very good, Alistair. Okay, Nightcore. I appreciate it, man. Sorry if there was some confusion with what you're saying about the private chat or whatever earlier. I know sometimes, especially in different languages, like there are certain sayings and things like that that might be different from English. But yeah, I've been trying to find ways to do more personal experiences with the stream, but it's just hard to do. That's why we have like a viewers night. If people are members of the channel, then they can come out and play with us on viewers night. Then we have the Discord where I'll get on there and people can talk and stuff like that. So, you know, we can do one night a week for that, for members. Usually it's a lower turnout. People tend to like to watch, you know, ranked games, the general population on the stream, but I kind of sacrifice and lose some viewership on Sundays to help people out with that. But not a lot of people had even been showing up for that for the last, you know, few weeks or so. Hopefully I'm not getting sick again. We'll see though. But just like some power gens or something. You got to get more vision down. Like, you've warded a little bit here, but like you're just not able to make really good decisions with that. Like, all good decisions start with good vision. I don't know if you needed to flash that. Maybe. If you hit that, it would have been nice, but Mordekaiser's just gonna get kited probably. Well, maybe not. Mord's OP. Get this. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know what Frozen Heart does. It's too expensive compared to Zeke's. That's why you pretty much never see it on anybody. It used to be like Frozen Heart and Locket were the go-to support items for the first like 5 seasons. But a lot of the newer age items, those two have been nerfed a ton over time, and a lot of the newer age items have just replaced them. So like the Zeke's and the Knight's Vow are just so much more cost efficient in most scenarios. Okay, nice. Save me. How do I feel about the Nami buffs? I mean, they're cool. But I don't think they're really going to make that much of a difference. I like the idea of creating a support that operates better with mages, because I don't think there are many of those. So I like the idea of it. I just don't think it's enough. They need to lower the cooldown on it, probably, or increase the damage, because it's not enough. I don't think. Or take away the AoE penalty, because like right now it only does like between 33 and 66% damage on an AoE ability. So, like, maybe something with Cassiopeia bot, but, like, 80 carries are still... There's several 80 carries that are very good right now, so there's just not really a reason to play a mage bottom. So, I mean, it's okay. I don't think it's gonna be a big deal, though. Katie. Stop. I just fed you a second ago.
Shut down.
So, how armor works, people are talking about armor in chat. Every one armor that you get means that someone has to do 1% more physical damage to kill you. That's the easiest way to think about it. The same is true with magic resist. So, if you have 100 health and 100 armor, if they do physical damage to you to kill you, they'd have to do 200 physical damage to kill you. If you have 300 armor, they would have to do 300%, so they'd have to do like 300 damage to kill you. 300 physical damage to kill you. Or 400 physical damage to kill you. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like health gets a lot more valuable at a certain point, rather than just stacking flat armor. It comes down, you know, that depends on the champion, their scalings, which items you're getting, things like that. So yeah, I mean, in general, they don't want you to get just like all chain vests, you know? No, 350 armor is way too much most of the time. I would say you're getting into proper tank territory at like 150 armor. Or 200 maybe, like one big tank item. I mean, it depends on the champion. Yeah, you guys should not have 3 people bottom when Baron's up. I mean, how are you even going to get to 350 armor? You're going to have like baseline 90 armor from your kit, maybe your runes. Each big armor item is going to give like 60 armor, so you're gonna have to have like 3 big armor items to get that, or more. You're gonna have to have like Randuin's, Sunfire, Cape, and I don't even know, Frozen Heart or something. Alright. Now, I would not be going like, we gotta work on this itemization here. You need to get stuff that I mean, I guess like that kind of helps the team, but like no one on their team has critical strike damage. Like there's not a single piece of crit on their entire team. And Randuin's is heavily, heavily balanced around crit. Like the stats on that item are not worth it at all unless they have critical strike. So, you know, if you really wanted like a selfish armor health item that's expensive, then you could get Dead Man's Plate, and that would at least help with rotations more. But in general, if you wanted an armor item as support, you should be getting Knight's Vow. It's just so much cheaper. It's like 2,200 gold, and you're getting like 150 to 200 gold value out of it. Like, it's very, very efficient. Versus this Randuin's right here, if you look it up, it's like a 0.7 or something gold value. It's not even 100%. Like, it's really, really inefficient. I would be getting more utility items. Like Zeke's Knight's Vow is kind of the standard. So it gives a lot of extra scaling to your team. Like, Leona has a lot of personal tanky stats, you know? Like, you haven't even died yet. So it's just kind of like overkill, you know? You could be giving your team more offense. What's up, John? Okay, nice. It also doesn't have CDR on it. So it's like, yeah, like your KDA is really good. Like, that's great, but there, I mean, the good news is there's definitely stuff to work on. So that means you could be winning even more games. It's always kind of dangerous when you have like a really good game, you know, but like you have a lot of stuff that could also be optimized. Because then it feels like you didn't really, like, that there was nothing to work on because you won the game and you had a good KDA and stuff like that. So those are sometimes some of the most dangerous games. And his Vayne's gonna start running you guys down. That's rough. Vayne did finally get one piece of critical strike, but she's still just gonna kill you if she dodges you. I can't see how many dragon stacks people have. I assume you guys have the majority of stacks. But yeah, you need you need more vision, you need to back up. So I think the better options would have been Zeke's number 1, we talked about, or Righteous Glory, if you just want like better rotations. Having that extra slow is kind of nice. It does give you a little bit of mana as well, or Knight's Vow. So some combination of those items. Looks like you might be going for Gargoyle Stoneplate next. I just think that's too much. Like, just too much tank. Without enough utility for your team. Now be careful, like, warding, like, hanging out, excuse me, hanging out around here by yourself. Because they saw Draven was bottom, in theory. Now, you do see 2 of them middle. But yeah, you need, these wards are okay, but they're kind of shallow. Like, you need a ward, like, here, or, like, on the other side of this wall. You gotta be careful fighting in here, too, against Vayne, because she can pin people against the wall. Hey, what's up, Pedro? Yeah, shut up, Vel'Koz. Vayne might just... No! It's getting close. Okay, y'all got the Vayne? Yeah, get inhibitor middle. I mean, Draven's a really good candidate for Zeke's too because he hits so hard with his axes that doing that extra 25% on hit damage is huge. The Rise play was sick. Oh, him.
Red team's turret has been destroyed. Red team's inhibitor has been destroyed. Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Huh. Oh, okay. Nice. Now I was watching Leona. I didn't see the Rise. That sounds like a good play. I mean, I'm glad he did something good. He's 1-9. The man needs a couple of plays. I mean, I'm obviously rooting for the Leona's team, but I feel kind of sad for people that go 1-9, man. It's just, it feels bad. Alright. Yeah, Vayne is still super dangerous right now, though. Oh, God. They got a couple of picks. The gargoyle, and now, like, this is your first piece of CDR, his Kindle Gem. I don't know. Some people say CDR is overrated. I really don't think it is, especially with a hard engaged support like Leona, where an ult should be a flash or a kill. I want as many ults as I can get. She got Dragon. Is that... Okay, it's not the soul yet. Oh, you had 18 kills as Janna, someone says in chat. I mean, that's fine. That happens. I should maybe try out Janna a little bit more. I mean, she is really strong right now. But I haven't had super success on her lately, but I haven't played her a ton either. Apparently. She's gonna kill you, probably. Maybe the soup with the super helping. I mean, she's just basically healing off of you at that point. I just wouldn't even... I would have just gone back to the Mordekaiser. And there's pretty much a 0% chance you kill her when she's got Bloodthirster, Blatherin King, and Gensu's. See, like, right there, like, how much did she live by? Sadie, stop.
Red team's turret.
Just imagine, like, Draven would do about 25% more damage if you had Zeke's. Like, this is a great example of the itemization here, actually, because, like, the Zeke's would give Draven 25% more damage on his autos, and just look at how little damage, like, Vayne lives by here. Right there. She had, like, 20 HP. And you've got all this tankiness, right? But they're not aiming for you. They're aiming for Draven, right? And now Oh, you still had Locket too? You didn't activate Locket earlier? Maybe it was on cooldown. But, like, the tankiness doesn't matter because they just kite you and kill you anyway. So they're not going to aim for you most of the time in a lot of fights. And by the time they are aiming for you, they're just going to clean you up. Like, the tankiness is not going to matter. That's why I'm saying, like, the personal tankiness really doesn't matter past a certain point. As long as you can engage and get your CC off, it's better just to get utility. Knight's Vow would have also blocked 12% of the damage on him. So if you had... And it heals you for 12% also. So if you had that, Draven would have... She did kill him when he was... When she was still at like 40% health. So he probably would have died there, but his last axe would have killed her, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's why, like, just having the tankiness plus the extra utility, I think would be a lot better than just raw tankiness. It's like this right now is just pretty much all about the Vayne. I just at a certain point, like if Draven dies, I think Vayne just kills everybody. Because she's got a... She actually does not have a Quicksilver Sash for some reason. So you need to be like hardcore trying to lock down the Vayne. And you need to, like, if you have your chat enabled, you need to tell Lissandra to hard focus the Vayne too. The problem is also Ryze, like, yeah, he's 2 and 10, but he's online, you know. Same thing with Diana, like they have a lot of items. So your team just got outscaled, I think, at this point. Ryze could just run out. I don't know. Just ult her. Yeah. You should have just ulted him to begin with. Like, it's a lot easier to hit the ult than it is to just hit, like, a max range E, I think. A gaming persona? You go by mouse destruction? I mean, I'm called the strategy professor. That's my gaming persona. This is not my actual name. Oh, unless you're talking about somebody else. Oh, you're talking to Zaniel? Okay, my bad. I didn't see that. Okay, you just gotta try to lock down the Vayne and just... Okay, now she actually got a Mercurial, so... It's gonna be a lot harder. Pretty much. I mean, you have to simultaneously, like, try to lock down Vayne, but also peel the Draven, because Draven's the only person with enough burst damage to kill her, if he gets, like, a few crits in. No, not the Zen. She's probably just gonna end. Yeah. So, alright, biggest stuff. Itemization, we talked about that a lot. I think you need to heavily consider Zeke's Knight's Vow early on, before Locket. And getting more vision earlier on, like, there was not much vision on the map, especially something like getting the refillable pot instead of 2 control wards, I think was a pretty big blunder early on. Try to get that better vision, especially because, like, your Kindred was pretty far ahead, and you could have excuse me, you could have pressured the jungle a bit more. And that roam top lane, I think you lost a ton of momentum off of that. You know, Vayne with bow summoners, trying to roam up there against Mordekaiser, who's 0-3. It's just going to be almost impossible to make that gank happen. And you pretty much, they killed Draven, got bottom tower, and just stopped a lot of your momentum to do that. It also hurt Draven's mental quite a lot. He was spam pinging. So yeah, that was pretty devastating. Because you were already winning that lane, so there's no point like in rotating that far. If you wanted to rotate, I think pushing up and then rotating on the Rise, who didn't have his flash. Now, I don't know if they ping that or not, but you could at least go in there and... Rise is so much more vulnerable than Vayne because he doesn't have like a tumble. So you should be able to hit him with your ult every time if he doesn't flash. So yeah, I would just, you know, watch my AD carry video that I recently released. I think a lot of that... and just my how to carry a support video, both of those new videos talk about this, but just pushing up the lane, bot lane, and then trying to do something productive in the river. Either getting deep vision, getting that dragon. Y'all could have had the dragon like 5 minutes earlier, and that means that that last dragon probably would have been a soul, and you may have been able to close out the game off of that. But because you delayed getting that dragon for like 3 to 5 minutes, then your next dragon's also delayed, and that just stopped your momentum and your snowball a lot. So yeah, go into river, trying to get scuttles, trying to get deep vision, trying to help your Kindred invade so she can get her marks, getting those early dragons. I think you could have punished them a lot harder early on, especially because your Draven was pretty far ahead, and they had very, very little wave clear they were using. But anyways, I think that's probably enough to work on. And then in the mid game, just trying to keep more vision up. He's pretty much got outscaled. You had to close out the game a lot earlier before Vayne got to 6 items because your team just doesn't really have enough burst to get her, and she's just going to heal through everything at that point. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thank y'all very much. The stream's going to continue, but that's it for the coaching session. If you'd like a coaching session yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind. We can probably set that up. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day.